So dear students, we are going to start with the part 3 of chapter 1, reproduction in lower and higher plants. In this chapter, we are going to study about sexual reproduction. So what is sexual reproduction? It involves formation of gametes, male gametes and female gametes. Either they are produced by the same individual or they are produced by different individual. The offsprings formed are not identical to their parents. It involves meiosis during gametogenesis. Before the organisms are ready to reproduce, they have a certain phase of growth and later they attain maturity. The period of growth is called as juvenile phase in animals and vegetative phase in plants. End of the juvenile or vegetative phase is the beginning of reproductive phase. In case of plants, we can decide that depending upon the lifespan, the plants are classified into three types: annuals, biennials, and perennials. Annuals, the plants which live only for one season, are called as annuals. Example, pea, tomato, wheat, maize, etc. So in a year we can get 2 to 3 crops. Biennials are those plants which grow their leaves, stems and roots in the first year and they go dormant in winter. And in the second year, they produce the seeds before dying. Thus, they survive for 2 years. Example, fennel, parsley, etc. Perennial are those plants which live for more than 2 years. Example, gulmohar, hibiscus, banana, kiwi, etc. Let us see some unusual phenomenon in plants. Bamboo plants flowers once in their lifetime. Generally, the lifespan is of 50 to 100 years. And imagine they produce flowers only once in their lifetime with large number of fruits and later they die. Whereas Strobilanthus kunthiana, Neelakuranji flowers, they flowers once in 12 years. So you can see bamboo and Neelakuranji. It was seen in 2006 that entire Kerala, Karnataka, the hilly regions were full of the Neelakuranji flowers. Now, let us see about reproduction in animals. Birds are usually seasonal breeders. They lay eggs only seasonally, though in captivity they are made to lay eggs throughout the year. Placental mammals show cyclic changes of activities. They show estrous cycle or menstrual cycle. Let us see in detail what is estrous and menstrual cycle. So if we see estrous cycle, it occurs in non-primates like cows, sheep, tiger, rats, dogs. Whereas menstrual cycle occurs in primates like monkeys, apes and human beings. The broken endometrium is reabsorbed in estrous cycle, whereas the broken endometrium along with the blood is thrown outside the body in a cyclic period. The sex urge in the females increases during the estrous cycle, whereas the sex urge doesn't increase in the females during menstrual cycle. The females permit copulation during estrous cycle, whereas females do not permit copulation during the menstrual cycle. Now let us see about one more terminology, parthenogenesis. The word parthenogenesis is derived from two words, partheno and genesis. Partheno means virgin and genesis means descent. Thus, it is also called as virgin birth. This type of reproduction is monoparental. It is found in aphids, wasps, honeybees, rotifers, etc. Here, an unfertilized ovum, that is, the haploid ovum, itself develops into a fully developed organism. Thus, the organism is also haploid. Now, parthenogenesis are of two types, natural and artificial. Artificial parthenogenesis is also called as induced parthenogenesis. Natural parthenogenesis occurs in drones in honeybees, which are naturally produced as parthenogenetic adults having haploid number of chromosome that is 16. Induced parthenogenesis can be induced by stimulations of salts, weak acids, sucrose solution, urea solution, electric shocks, temperature, etc. It can be carried out by stimulating through needles, as in case of egg of frog or egg of sea urchin. So we complete here about the various aspects related to sexual reproduction. In the next video, we will study about sexuality in organisms and different types of pollination in plants. Thank you.